Welcome to the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast, presented by the Beef Cattle Research Council. The most popular content from beefresearch.ca, available on the go. Before we get into this week's episode, a quick message from the BCRC.
With newborn calves comes risk for disease and dehydration. Having the skills to quickly identify dehydration and knowing methods for early intervention can have a meaningful reduction in the rate of calf illness and death on your farm. To assist producers in assessing calf dehydration, the BCRC has developed a dehydration checklist as part of the Calf 911 resources. This printable resource effectively reviews the signs to look for and provides guidance on where to find more information. Access this resource and more by clicking the link in the show notes. This episode is titled, How to Spot Respiratory Acidosis in a Newborn Calf.
Most beef producers know the frustration that accompanies dealing with the dreaded dummy calf. These calves will not suckle, won't sit up, or stand and stare blankly with what seems to be a lack of will and intelligence to survive, despite your best efforts. This lack of coordinated movement is often due to respiratory acidosis. But what causes respiratory acidosis? When a calf is in utero, the placenta is attached to both the mother and the calf. This link allows the mother to pass oxygen to the fetus and take away carbon dioxide, which is the waste product of breathing. Once the second stage of labor is initiated, the calf begins its journey to the outside world. During this period, the calf's respiration is neither supported by the dam nor able to breathe on its own. At this point, the calf is still processing the oxygen it had in its system, creating carbon dioxide, but it lacks a way of expelling it from its body. This carbon dioxide builds up in the blood, making it acidic. When the birthing process proceeds as it should, this momentary respiratory acidosis can act as a trigger to cause the calf to gasp for air after delivery. This initiation of breathing allows for the built-up carbon dioxide to be exhaled, and the body can correct the acidosis via normal respiration. The problem occurs when the normal breathing process gets delayed. In this instance, the calf is in a prolonged stage of being unable to clear the carbon dioxide from its body. This continues to create a state of acidosis, and the result is a dummy calf. So what are the symptoms of respiratory acidosis? A calf known to have experienced delayed calving and that scores low on the calf Vigor scoring system is likely to suffer from respiratory acidosis. Symptoms of an acidic calf can include low Vigor score, poor suckle reflex, dummy calf appearance or stupor, weakness, lack of coordination and or staggering, and coma. How do you treat respiratory acidosis? The best treatment for respiratory acidosis is prevention. Good management practices help prevent calving difficulties and are key to minimizing the number of calves born with this challenging condition. When calving difficulties do arise, early intervention is critical to ensure the calf initiates normal breathing as soon as possible. Proper resuscitation techniques are enough to prompt spontaneous respiration in those calves that are capable. However, for calves requiring more help, the use of a respiration aid such as an ambu bag or mask respirator is necessary. Once acidosis is established in the bloodstream, electrolytes are needed to help correct blood pH levels. However, oral electrolytes provided using a stomach tube are not able to work quickly enough. A veterinarian will need to be contacted for advice on administering intravenous electrolytes as soon as possible. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. You can find all relevant links and information at beefresearch.ca or in the show notes. The Beef Cattle Research Council is funded by the Canadian Beef Cattle Checkoff and strives for excellence in the production of Canadian beef, cattle, and forage through research, innovation, and extension. Tune in every Tuesday as the Canadian Beef Cattle Podcast delivers straightforward insights, expert information, and a wealth of practical knowledge for Canadian beef producers. Subscribe now.